Welcome back to the epic adventures of my very first colony. This is my first 10 hours of RimWorld. I've already played this, recorded this before posting the other videos, so if you see me not incorporating any of the tips that you guys gave me, it's not because I'm ignoring you, but because I didn't know them yet. Oh boy, what a learning curve this is, but it's such an epic game. So where we left off last time was that we had two prisoners, two colonists to be, I hope, and it's winter and there's a cold snap and we are struggling for food. Grab some tea and snacks and enjoy. So as I said, the biggest struggle right now is actually surviving. Not only did I want to go and explore caravanning, I needed food for that, but I just needed food like in general. I didn't even have a buffer really. My bad. I was just distracted by the crops and I didn't think about, winter and destroying it all. So now I'm just looking for berries and running back and forth to try and gather as much food as I can. I also had to slaughter my animals that I had domesticated and I felt very sad about that. And in the meantime, we had two prisoners whose mouths we also had to feed. Well, mostly medication at first, but it was worth it to me because I just really wanted more colonists. And of course, fate heard that and was like, no. So we neatly put them away in the death pile and moved on with our lives. At this point, we only had one male ram. I guess all rams are male, whatever, left. And we had to slaughter him as well. Sad face. Then we were attacked, which gave me hope that maybe we could get another new colonist in the future after, of course, brainwashing him and bribing him with raw potatoes. It also, was a threat in case we died. But I'd learned from the previous experience and to use cover, let him come to us, keep my distance. And that's what I did. And it worked out just fine. Setsuko is my chef, so I let her do the cooking. Her cooking skills aren't the best, but they are the best of the bunch, which did not always go well, but in this case went fine. Then I tried to tame a few donkeys, but realized that I couldn't because, well, I don't have any food. No food for me, no food for the donkeys. So, made perfect sense, but I was a bit sad about it. I've learned so much from winter and how dangerous winter is that I now know how to prepare for it, but yeah, you have to learn the hard way, don't you? And this also makes me wonder how your first winter went, because I can't be the only one who's stressed out right now. I'm so stressed. Miracle above miracle, and Telepi, I assume that's how you pronounce it, was actually walking about, and the room was dirty, there was a lot of blood, but I was just happy she survived. Since there was no more cold snap, we could actually plant now, and that gave me a glimmer of hope. And in the meantime, we just kept getting berries and stuff. Oh my. Also, these were here forever, those rocks, because even though I had set it to pick them up, haul them, they just didn't do it. And I don't know if I did anything wrong. Maybe they just didn't get around to hauling things. Because all the other things just took too much time. Don't know. I am not afraid to admit this, and yes, you may laugh. It took me an embarrassingly long time to realize that those lights broke down because I needed to refuel them. I just figured they were broken or they ran out of fuel, but then, they were broken and I couldn't do anything about it. Even though I was clicking on it, I just didn't realize it really was as simple as just right click and then refuel. Then rams got addicted to ambrosia. Some popped up on my land and I stored it. I was so happy with, some more food, and then rams started binge eating it, and then he got addicted. And it was just wonderful. It was just really wonderful. We survived the cold snap, but it was still winter and I was still nervous about the whole thing. We had some traders come in so I could get some more food, which is what we desperately needed still. And since Setsuko wasn't the greatest chef, some people also got food poisoning. And Setsuko had some major break risk, which was tricky because obviously she had a baby to feed and I was a little bit nervous about it, but also not really sure what to do about it. So she was vomiting all over the place and it was glorious. Rangel is an absolute sweetheart. He is one of the few, I think maybe the only one apart from Setsuko as well, that actually plays with the baby and is nice to him and takes care of him. And I feel like he's kind of like the surrogate dad of Setsuko and kind of like the surrogate granddad of the baby. It's so cute. And I'm scared to say that out loud in case the game hears me. Anyway, it happened. Setsuko broke and was wandering around aimlessly and there was nothing I could do except pray. This poor baby. Unfortunately, the baby made it! Sorry if I scared you, I just was really excited about it and the fact that, you know, Setsuko was fine. Well, she was sick, but she was fine. Everybody was fine. The baby lived. Setsuko lived. That was all I wanted. Actually, that's not true. I also wanted this. More colonists. And this was Matthew. He was a treehouse builder and happily joined our colony. He's built like a tree. Look at him. Built like a tree. So I was super happy about that. Less happy when I found out he had an addiction. But anyway, I made him primarily an animal handler and a hunter. And Antelope went mad. So, only a matter of time, I suppose, but it was quite the sight to see. Now, you know what they say when you assume, right? But I assumed that she was just going to be mad in her prison, you know, where she was imprisoned, where you can't escape from because it's a prison. But I was wrong. When they go berserk, they leave. They leave. And I was just happily planting things and ignoring until now. Then I saw it and I was like, oh, shoot. And then I was so terrified that I was going to kill her because, you know, the only option I had was to attack. Now, this was a little bit awkward because she was kind of in a way. I was like, how do I get there? And I just saw all their lives flash before my eyes, like all of them. And I was trying to get like behind her so I could, you know, get some distance and do something. But luckily, Setsuko right hooked her or something and she was still alive, miracle above miracle. So I carried her back to her cell and started nursing her back to health. I felt incredibly lucky here and I was sweating a lot. Then we were attacked again. No new potential colonist for me since he was dead. I guess we were just too dominant. So we just took care of the body and moved on. Now, hunger was still a problem and some people were also struggling with addiction. And in this case, Matthew went absolutely berserk and started beating up Antelope. So here was another moment where I thought, okay, she did. She did it. And this was me desperately trying to find a way to stop Matthew. But I just couldn't. I had to wait. And then she was knocked out. So she was still alive, thank goodness. And I quickly helped her get back on her feet, or in this case, on bed. And again, nursed her back to health. We now had some cute donkeys because Matthew was also extremely good at animal handling, so he just grabbed them, put them in there, and I was very happy with that. Not so happy with beating up my prisoner, but happy with him when he's mentally stable. Our food was growing nicely, so I just had to direct my pawns into picking it up and putting it in storage so that we could actually eat it. So I expanded my crop section as well so that I could plant even more, because now I knew how important it was to hamster all the food, store it in my metaphorical cheeks for winter. And this is what the homestead looked like, still with the burning marks from the previous times. But I was starting to get hopeful, and we'll see how that turns out next time.